In the 80s, there was a group called the Contra, better known as the CIA's army. They were a right-wing rebel group funded by the CIA. They waged a proxy war on Nicaragua as a revolutionary government for the US. They were committing terrorist attacks, trafficking tons of cocaine. They were basically backing South Central's biggest crack dealer with their cocaine. It was small time when they found him. Then, they opened the first pipeline to the Colombia drug cartel in South Central. They were basically behind funding the crack that flourished the 80s crack epidemic, even though it was the government who was exploiting it.
This is crack cocaine.
Just say no.
Crack babies are born every day. Statistics are nearly the same or worse in many major cities. It is a looming financial crisis at big city hospitals, a bill that is expected to top $300 million by 1991, a bill that you and I will have to pay.
Landon and Menezes were the two front runners of the group, supplying the cocaine to Rick Ross. At first, they were untouchable. The DA was trying to investigate them since they were California's biggest drug operation, but the CIA made him drop it without cause. Then, for some reason or another, the CIA decided they were done with it. I think it was just getting too hot. The implication was getting too great. So they used Menezes as the sacrificial lamb. They protected Blandon. Then they invoked a CIPA-classified Information Procedures Act in which they prevented incriminating testimony from being presented to the jurors and from national security, which is admitting that they're guilty, which they did wind up admitting to the public that they funded and protected these drug runners only because they had to. Gary Webb was the journalist that exposed the story. He presented enough evidence to have 3 trials presented, but of course, all of them were dismissed for a lack of evidence. You don't really go up against the government. The government is one big operation. They might have different divisions, but they all protect each other, because protecting each other is protecting themselves. So basically, Gary Webb became public enemy number 1. He became blacklisted from journalism, lost his job, and nobody would hire him, and he wound up committing suicide.